The 134th running of the Melbourne Cup. Good afternoon, Peter Booth in the mounting yard where the lead-up for the Cup is underway. A short time ago, country star James Blundell entertained the crowd with the rendition of Waltzing Matilda. The weather is overcast and rain has been falling for about 2.5 hours here at Flemington, and the track has been downgraded from fast to good. The 24 thoroughbreds are parading, and in about 9 minutes we'll head to the start. Let's check the latest Cup betting as we say good afternoon to Greg Miles.
Thank you, Peter. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to our listeners throughout Australia and through Radio Australia, through our overseas network, and welcome to our Flemington coverage. A sea of colour from where I view the race, Peter, and not just the jockey silks. It's umbrellas up as the rain falls. We've had some patches where we've had some fine conditions, but it seems for every race that has been run on the program so far, it has been drizzling rain, and as you say, the track has been downgraded from fast to good. Some jockeys even saying that it is bordering on dead now. The market is very interesting because it's extremely open. Vintage Crop did open up the favourite, and he is sharing favouritism with Top Rating at the moment, the David Hayes trained stayer. They're each at around about 6-1 with the bookmakers. Paris Lane and Alcove are each at around 13-2. Alcove at 13-2 at the moment. Paris Lane at 7-1. And then Quick Ransom is next best at around 7s and 15-2. Clevedon Gale, stablemate of last year's Hero Vintage Crop, is in the market around 12s. And then the Bart Cummings trained Gossips at 15-1. On the Super Tab, the dividends show the main ones here. Number 1, Vintage Crop, firming all the while, is now 8.30 and 3.60. The favourite is number 6, Paris Lane, at $7 and 2.70. Number 8, Quick Ransom, at $8.20 and $3. Number 10, Top Rating, $9.20 and $3.90. Number 14, Alcove, $8.50 and $3. And number 20, Clevedon Gale, $9.20 and $2.90. Very shortly, the jockeys will mount up for the 134th Melbourne Cup, worth $2 million. In the meantime, back to Peter Booth.
Thank you, Greg. Yes, I'm down in the mounting yard and looking for Brian Beattie, the chief executive of the VRC, and unfortunately I think our arrangements might have been thrown out the door because of the heavy rain that's falling down here. Brendan Cormick, the Melbourne racing writer for the Australian, has joined me, and you wouldn't have heard it, Brendan, but Greg was just saying that the track may be worse than some people seem to think. It's been downgraded from fast to good. I just spoke with Clem Dimsey, who's covering the event here for ABC Television. He tells me that Patrick Payne did say the track is quite heavy.
Yes, well, the rain has been constant. It has been soaking rain, so that is fair to expect, and certainly the betting would reflect the conditions here, because Vintage Crop is now equal favourite with Top Rating.
Okay, see whether you can pick up Brian Beattie for me, because we had planned to interview him just prior to the start of the race. Now, we've got some race goers here. I'm not quite sure whether they want to have a talk on ABC Grandstand or not, but they're under umbrellas. Some of them are sipping, well, I haven't been sipping champagne myself, but I might sound as if I might have been. But a young lady here is quite resplendent in an all-black uniform, and is it just your one day of the year at the Cup?
Oh, no, we came to the Derby as well.
And who have you backed in the Cup?
Vintage Crop.
Okay, well, it's equal favourite at the moment. Now, someone here who's really looking as if she wants to be on ABC Grandstand.
Well, I'm here from Ireland, and I'm here to back Vintage Crop.
Well, what's the connection with Ireland?
Well, I'm from Ireland. I live in Ireland. I came down last Saturday, and I'm going back this Saturday, just for a few days. I used to live here full-time in Australia, and I have a lot of racing connections in Ireland, and of course, we're all very confident that Vintage Crop is going to win the Melbourne Cup this year.
You're probably pleased to see the rain falling?
Absolutely. This is very familiar.
Are you related to anyone connected with the Irish horses?
No, I'm not related, just know them. And I'm just delighted to be here on a day like this in 1994 when Vintage Crop was running in the Melbourne Cup, and we hope he's going to win.
Did you back Vintage Crop last year?
I was in Ireland last year, and I didn't, unfortunately, but I was glued to the radio and television over there at the time.
Okay, now let's go around the corner. There's someone here with a large bottle of champagne, and he's soaked. Peter Booth on ABC Grandstand. You've... well, there's not much left in the champagne. There's more in the glass.
A bottle of Laurent Perrier here, but we drank a lot, and we put it all on Paris Lane.
All on Paris Lane. You are absolutely drenched. That suit of yours must be a $500 suit.
It must be a $1,000 suit, but it's gone.
All on Paris Lane.
All on Paris Lane.
Quick Ransom.
A very quick ransom we're looking for.
Okay. Well, it won't be long before the horses will leave the mounting yard. Now, Brendan Cormick, you've got a guest here because Brian Beattie, unfortunately, has been held.
Yes, Barry Bennett joins me. Barry, congratulations on getting Sweet Glory to the Cup as a trainer. It must be a great thrill for you.
Thanks, Brendan.
Well, have you been disappointed with her build-up to this race? She ran a tremendous second earlier on in the year when she was runner-up to our Pompey in the Adelaide Cup.
No, she's had a good preparation as far as I'm concerned. She did miss one run at Flemington, but she ran at Caulfield the following week. I would have liked to have run at Flemington, but she missed that one.
Okay, thanks for that. There's the fanfare. Greg Miles as the horses leave the mounting yard here at Flemington.
The Victoria Racing Club presents the 124th Melbourne Cup, brought to you by Foster's. The field is led out by last year's hero, arguably the best stayer in the world at the moment, Vintage Crop Michael Cadane. Number 2, River Verdon, Hong Kong's champion racehorse for the past 4 years, John Marshall. Number 3 is Jearn, owned by Sheikh Hamdan, winner of the Group 1 Underwood Stakes, Wayne Harris. Followed out by number 4, the dual Adelaide Cup winner, Al Pompey, Jim Cassidy. Number 5, Air Seattle, last year's Caulfield Cup runner-up, Rod Griffiths. Number 6, Paris Lane, winner of the Caulfield Cup and the McKinnon, trying to emulate Rising Fast and Let's Elope to pull off the treble. Paris Lane, Damien Oliver. Number 7, Hear That Bell, runner-up in the Sydney Cup, Stephen King. 8, Quick Ransom, the tough English handicapper, Brent Thompson. 9, Umpala, winner of the Newcastle Cup, Larry Cassidy. Number 10, Top Rating, the Moonee Valley Cup winner, Greg Hall. 11, Double Take, placed in the Canberra and Werribee Cups, Greg Childs. Number 12 is Glastonbury, the Metropolitan Handicap winner, Grant Cooksley. 13, Gossips, who won the St Ledger, Darren Beedman. Could he give Bart Cummings his 10th win in the race? 14, Alcove, the AJC Oaks winner, Patrick Payne. 15, Gold Sovereign, winner of the AJC St Ledger, Craig Carmody. 16, Grass Valley, King of the Country Cups, taking the Geelong and Werribee Cups at his last 2 starts, Alf Matthews. 17 is Oppressor, with David Taggart on board, won the Toorak Handicap 3 starts ago. 18, Starstruck, who won and then lost on protest to Crown Quality last start, Mark Miller. 19, Toll Bell, placed in the Geelong Cup, Peter Mertens. 20 is Clevedon Gale, 4 times a winner at this journey, Willie Carson. 21 is Coachwood, placed in the Crown Quality, Shane Dye. Number 22, Major Decision, placed in the Grafton and Newcastle Cups, Kevin Moses. 23 is Pindy, winner of the Crown Quality, last start, Peter Nucky. And 24, Sweet Glory, who was runner-up in the Adelaide Cup, Peter Shepherd. The field of 24, parading for the Melbourne Cup of 1994. It's due to start in about 6 minutes. Peter, that's the field. They're heading to the barrier stalls. Let's go back to you in the mounting yard until they're at the gates and ready to go. As we leave you, I can just bring you the latest market from the bookmaker's ring. Vintage Crop and Top Rating sharing favouritism at around 6-1. Alcove right in the market at 13-2. And then at 8-1, Paris Lane, who's eased from 6s, and Quick Ransom, who's eased from 8-1. So a very wide race, but Vintage Crop is the favoured runner, equal with Top Rating. Gossip's most reluctant to go to the start, and in fact Darren Beedman was thrown from the horse right in front of us here near the 100-metre mark, but he's back on board, but very stirred up as Gossips. Big crowd has obviously got him on his toes, and he won't budge from the 100. He won't go to the start. He'll be cajoled by the clerk of the course. Most of them are now arriving at the start. Until they're lining in, it's back to you, Peter.
Okay, Greg, thanks for that. We're broadcasting, of course, on Radio Australia all around the world.
Have we lost Peter, have we? Unfortunately, we have. We've lost Peter in the mounting yard. You might be able to reposition, perhaps, Peter, and we'll come back to you. Okay, let's try you again.
Try me again.
It was easy in the finish because the horse be with him.
Good to race.
Unfortunately, Peter, the quality of your broadcast isn't good enough at the moment.
Dermot now, Mark Bairstow was with me. Greg, you there, Greg?
Yes, you're breaking up, Peter.
Okay, now what about that, Greg?
That's okay, you're coming in.
We've got Mark Bairstow, the captain of the defeated Geelong team in the grand final, who's a trainer himself with a true racing in the next race. Mark Bairstow, a trainer of the start.
Well, before the rain, Peter, I would have thought Elko would be a great chance, but, you know, about the rain now.
Okay, well, the rain apparently has the track up with Patrick Payne was saying that it was, but the Tommy Hughes Jr. Is not happy with the state of the track either.
No, he was disappointed. He said, if New Smyrna can win in these conditions, they won't suit Elko. No chance Elko, were his words. Wait and see.
Well, Mark Bairstow, what about the top weight vintage crop? I mean, if you had been 14 stitches a week ago, would you have persevered with him?
Oh, I think they've come a long way, and I think they've done a great job to get him here, and I think he'll run very well. I think the conditions will suit, and a lot of the runners won't be able to handle the going.
Okay. Thanks very much, Clem. Well, it was a very short interview with Dermot Weld, Greg, because he was fairly reluctant to come out in the rain, as you would imagine. And unlike some of the owners who are upstairs in the comfort and watching the race, where the owners and trainers normally watch it, he's down here in the mounting yard, and he's up on about the second step, but he was fairly reluctant to come out and get wetter than he is at the moment. Brendan Cormick is back with me.
A late rally, Peter, for Clevedon Gale. It's been the late mover in the ring.
I did speak with a bookmaking firm a few hours ago who told me that they had Clevedon Gale at 10-1, where most bookmakers had him at 14. So there has been a late rally in the last couple of days for him.
A fair assessment, that too. The price of your firm is very close to the money.
Okay, well, it's still raining quite heavily down here in the mounting yard. Greg, let's cross back to you for the call of the race.
Okay, Peter. Stalls have been closed in front. It won't be long before they're called into the gates for the Melbourne Cup. And that strong rally for Clevedon Gale is reflected in the board that I'm looking at here too. She has in fact been about the best backed in the race, but Vintage Crop has again firmed a point. At around 5-1, he's going to run favourite. Top rating at 6-1, 7-1 now Quick Ransom and Alcove, 8-1 for Paris Lane, and 10-1 Clevedon Gale. Starter calling them in. They're moving in for the Melbourne Cup. Down on the inside, the first to move in was Quick Ransom. Our Pompey is ready. Sweet Glory links in down in gate number 2. Here's Gossips coming up into his position in the stalls. Top rating is ready. Ompala has gone up. Here's the Hong Kong champion, River Verdon, going into the stalls, and hear that bell getting set. River Verdon in and then backed out again, about to come up once more. Hear that bell goes in next to Gossips, drawn down on the inside. So rain still falling here. The track deteriorating. Clevedon Gale, Vintage Crop, the two stablemates, very heavily tried. Both Paris Lane has been easy, and Top Rating. Down near the outside there, Gold Sovereign is linked in. Going into the stalls is Vintage Crop. They're not far away from a start here. Toll Bell is set. River Verdon standing in well. Clevedon Gale. Coachwood is ready. Now coming in, Glastonbury is set. Grass Valley goes up. Here Seattle is still away from the line at the moment with Pindi, Paris Lane in the colours of Gurner's Lane, trying to pull off the big double. Coming up now is Jearn into the stalls. Double Take getting set. Oppressor, major decision still away in company with Starstruck, Toll Bell. Stalls slowly but surely being filled. Now Double Take going into the gates. Double Take ready. Alcove coming up. Placed in the Caulfield Cup. Mighty Run on the Cox. Oppressor is ready. Alcove comes in for Patrick Payne. They're nearly set. Alcove is right. Now the last couple are getting set. Pindy goes in. Pindy is ready. And Toll Bell, Major Decision, Starstruck are out behind the line. Clevedon Gale stands in well. The mare who's won 4 times at the Journey has Willie Carson on board. Major Decision comes up. Starstruck is going to complete the line on the outside. They're all locked away. They're set for the Melbourne Cup of 94. They're ready. Set. Sweet Glory bounces in the stalls. Waiting for the light. They're ready. Starter is holding them. Starstruck on the outside with Major Decision. A minor delay. Not sure what the hold-up is. They're in the stalls. Top Rating standing well. They're all set. Light. And they're racing. To a mighty roar. Quick Ransom began quickly down on the inside. Sweet Glory gossips. Our Pompeii away quickly. Vintage Crop ridden out of the stalls. Pindy's going fast. Gold Sovereign in the early stages with a presser are going forward. So too River Verdon. Alcove not too far away as they settle down. Clevedon Gale dropped out to the tail with Glastonbury. Tightly bunched as they came to the 2,800 metre mark now. Gold Sovereign working up on the outside of a presser and Sweet Glory to run to the lead. River Verdon just behind them. Quick Ransom on the rail and now Pompeii. They're followed then by Alcove, caught a little wide. Pindy just behind it, followed by Jeune, Coachwood, and then out wide Toll Bell double take. In behind those here, that Bell, followed by Grass Valley Air, Seattle Starstruck. Next is Vintage Crop over on the outside of Starstruck. He's out 3 wide at the moment. Followed further back in the field at the head of the other horses then by Top Rating over on the inside. Trailing him is Paris Lane. Major Decision, Umpala, Glastonbury. Clevedon Gale is last of all as the Melbourne Cup field heads out towards the riverside now. And Gold Sovereign is the leader. Gold Sovereign out by 2 lengths. Alcove had moved up to second. A presser a length away third. Sweet Glory on the rail is fourth and Toll Bell on the outside. Then River Verdon followed by Quick Ransom double take. One further back in the field is Pindy over on the outside. Around Our Pompeii. Gossips on the fence and then Jeune, Coachwood, Grass Valley. They're followed by Vintage Crop who's tracking out quite wide at the 1,800. Out 3 or 4 horses there. From here that Bell and Air Seattle. A length and a half Top Rating. Starstruck. 1 Paris Lane Umpala. Major Decision. Clevedon Gale second last. And Glastonbury last of all. They've gone past the halfway mark in the Melbourne Cup. Less than 1,600 to go. Gold Sovereign the leader. Out 2.5 lengths the presser. 2 lengths back third is Alcove. Toll Bell on the outside. Then Sweet Glory. River Verdon double take. In on the rail just behind them, Quick Ransom ahead away Pindy. 1 further back in the field then came Gossips getting through near the inside. Coachwood wider. Our Pompeii is next and they're followed by Grass Valley. Vintage Crop seemed to get a little check at the 1,200 there. Lost a bit of ground. Followed by here that Bell Top Rating. Then Air Seattle Starstruck. Umpala is well back. Paris Lane starting a run wide out from Major Decision. Clevedon Gale and Glastonbury the last 2. 900 left to go. Gold Sovereign the leader from Toll Bell who got the second. Double take wide out third. Alcove is next the outside from O'Presser. 1 further back Gossip saving ground near the inside. There's Coachwood starting a run round the outside. Coachwood with its run and River Verdon coming too. Back behind those horses Jeune and here that Bell. Paris Lane staking a claim wide out around the home turn. Glastonbury very deep. When they enter the straight, Quick Ransom had got shuffled out. Clevedon Gale is well back. Vintage Crop is starting his run. Round the turn of Presser the leader. Coming after it, double take. Jeune near the inside. Wide out Alcove and here comes Paris Lane. Paris Lane with his runners starting to mow them down. And so is Umpala. Umpala with a run but Jeune hit the front. Jeune out by 2 lengths to Paris Lane. Alcove double take Umpala. Jeune the leader though. Jeune in front of Paris Lane. He's got a 2-length break. Umpala the outside. It's Jeune still in front. He's 2 lengths clear. He's holding them. And Jeune's going to win the Melbourne Cup by 2 lengths to Paris Lane. Umpala a half ahead away third. Then double take Alcove followed by here that Bell. In behind them was Vintage Crop, Top Rating and Grass Valley and then Jeune, Starstruck. They were followed further back in the field by Oppressor, Major Decision, Glastonbury. Then Gossips. Well back was Our Pompeii. Coachwood followed by Air Seattle, Pindy. They were trailed then by Sweet Glory, Toll Bell. Behind them, Quick Ransom, well back with Clevedon Gale, River Verdon. And Gold Sovereign was last to finish after leading. Stand by for numbers. Jeune has taken out the Melbourne Cup. Number 3, ridden by Wayne Harris. Trained by Dave Hayes for Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Number 3, Jeune. Number 3, Jeune has won the Melbourne Cup. It's a photo for the minors between Paris Lane and Umpala. Paris Lane has run second, number 6, and number 9 has run third, Umpala. Jeune, Wayne Harris, Paris Lane, Damien Oliver, Umpala, Larry Cassidy. Official placings in the 94 Melbourne Cup. 3, 6 and 9. They've run 3 minutes, 19.8. Fourth home in the Cup was Double Take, and fifth was Alco. Jeune has caused a surprise. Number 3, Jeune, around about 20 to 1, but there was money for it when the rain came, and it firmed to around 16s. And what a performance by Jeune to sprint brilliantly, taking rails runs. Wayne Harris, through his career, has had so many ups and downs. He'll be a delighted man. Rarely has he ridden for the Hayes team, but he has done so with great effect in the past and has scored a brilliant victory on Jeune in the Melbourne Cup. Paris Lane came with a fantastic burst, just wilting slightly on his run, but they've run it in pretty good time given the conditions. Wayne Harris, who as a young man won the Golden Slipper for Bart Cummings on Century Miss as an 18-year-old. He's had so many ups and downs in his career since then, many injuries, and at one stage was even fighting for his life with an illness. I think it was a brain tumour or something similar some years ago. He came back after being away from the saddle for about 2 years and won at his first ride back about 3 or 4 years ago. It's been a spiralling success ever since at his captain, with a thrilling victory in the Melbourne Cup. 3, 6 and 9. We might see if we can cross down to Peter Booth for a reaction from the mounting yard. Peter, David Hayes has got a Melbourne Cup winner, but a bit of a surprise one.
Yes, certainly was, Greg. In fact, he's being interviewed for television right now. Lee Friedman is here. So, the trainer of the second horse, Paris Lane. Lee, if I can just interrupt for a moment. Peter Booth on grandstand up with Greg Miles running second, but what did you think?
Well, I mean, it was a very brave run. He drew the bad alley. There was that much pressure to get up near the lead. He had to go to the back. He had 3 behind him, and then he had to go wide. And he's gone that wide coming into the straight, but he's just given away 6 lengths to the...
Didn't help?
Probably didn't.
Okay.
Okay, Peter, the winner about to return to scale, and doesn't matter what price a Melbourne Cup winner is. When they return, it's always to thunderous ovation. He wasn't totally unwanted. He'll return a good dividend, but Melbourne Cups go far beyond the punt. People will remember the trials of Wayne Harris and be thrilled for him. When he pulled up, Damien Oliver reached over and they actually gave each other bear hugs as they were pulling up. So the horse that was sent out to win the Cox Plate started favourite in that, ran down the track, but he's taken the Melbourne Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Foster's Melbourne Cup for 1994, number 3, Jeune. Bred by Sir Robin McAlpine, by Carla Glow from Youthful. Raced by Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum, who won the Melbourne Cup with Attilak in 1986. Jeune trained by David Hayes, giving him his first cup, and ridden by Wayne Harris. Second placing to Paris Lane, a gallant run from his outside gate. Paris Lane by Persian Heights from French Twist, trained by Lee Friedman and ridden by Damien Oliver. And third, Umpala, by Kampala from Asheen, trained by John Wallace and ridden by Larry Cassidy. 3, 6 and 9. Fourth was Double Take, and fifth was Alcove in the time of 3:19.8. Harris, beloved, removes the cap. He hasn't stopped smiling from about the 200-metre mark. Blows a kiss to anybody, whoever in the crowd. And a wonderful comeback, if we can call it that. He's been one of the top riders in Sydney for a long time. And this caps his career with a horse that a lot of people really thought would struggle at the Journey. David Hayes reaches out, takes the lead, and he's bringing the horse back to scale. The track did deteriorate. The hero from last year, Vintage Crop, raced wide all the way, and I saw him get onto the heels of another horse about the 1200. He lost ground. Canaan kept him deep all the way. He made his run very wide round the home turn, tried to stake a claim, but he was anchored in the straight. Be it the weight, be it the way the race was run, or be it the problems that he's endured in the lead-up over the last week, I don't know, but he didn't fire today. Neither did the stablemate Clevedon Gale. Many thought she might be the one, but I think the class is told for her. Top rating, perhaps the ground just didn't suit him because the jockeys are coming back with mud splattered over their silks, and he's not a wet track performer. Alcove ran bravely. I don't think she was suited by the ground, but she's run a courageous race, finishing in 5th position. Of the other fancied runners, Quick Ransom had a lovely run on the fence, but dropped out of contention completely. And let me see. Darren Beedman has collapsed, it seems. He is coming off the track on a stretcher with blood over his silks. What has happened here? Drama after the race with Darren Beedman, rider of Gossips, coming back to in an ambulance. He has been thrown at some point of the race, obviously. I don't know. I didn't see what happened. Let's go down to Peter Booth. Peter. Peter, are you with us? You there? Well, I can see Peter on the television trying to speak to David Hayes, but unfortunately our radio gear not working, so we'll stay with it up here. The jockeys are now weighing in. Wayne Harris weighing in on Jeune. Another victory for Sheikh Hamdan, who scored on with Attilac for Michael Clark and Colin Hayes back in 1986. And now another victory for Sheikh Hamdan. In 1986, the Sheikh was at the camel races. I wonder whether he might have got himself near a television this time. We'll try one more time for Peter Booth.
He thought the horse may over-race, but with the gear change, it changed, really helped the horse.
Surprised that Shane decided not to ride Jeune?
Yeah, it was a hard decision. It's a handicap. And it was just one of those things. This horse got the great run. Coachwood didn't get such a good run. But, don't know what to say.
What's it like winning one? When did you get
Harris? It's just sensational, just fantastic.
When did you get Harris? When did you get him?
He was booked straight after barrier draws on Saturday evening.
Saturday night,
yeah. So, it was a lucky break for Wayne. And Wayne said the moment I booked him, he said, I've got a very, very good feeling. I'm lucky to have the ride. And he said, I just got a good feeling about it. And the feeling was damn well right.
Have you ridden major winners for you before?
For my father, so I think all...
Okay, Peter is caught in the middle of a huddle of pressmen there, and this is not helping our radio mic here, but we were able to hear there from David Hayes, the winning trainer, and correct weight has come through. I can't hear. Thank you. Correct weight. Correct weight. Weight's right for the Melbourne Cup. The winning margin, a length and 3/4. Half a neck between second and third. 2 lengths to the fourth horse. The time 3:19.8. And correct weight. Weight is right. The dividends for Jeune, number 3, $20.40 and $6.30. Second, Paris Lane, $2.70. And third, Umpala, $13.30. $20.40 and $6.30 the winner. $2.70 for second. $13.30 for third. Quinella on the Melbourne Cup, $67.40. The running double, $181.60. The extra double for 9 and 3, $893.90. And the trifecta is yet to come, repeating correct weight for 3, 6 and 9 on the Melbourne Cup. A length and 3/4 by a half a neck. Jeune taking out the Melbourne Cup, ridden by Wayne Harris. Paris Lane second, ridden by Damien Oliver. And Umpala third, ridden by Larry Cassidy. Hope you back the Melbourne Cup winner for 1994.